Hiring a high-powered regional director for your newly established Oslo headquarters and expecting relentlessly 24/7 executive drive feels like a standard global corporate victory, until the same director suddenly hands you a doctor's note for burnout, completely vanishes from the office for 6 months, and your foreign human resources department discovers that they are legally forced to continue paying their massive executive salary while being absolutely legal banned from firing them or hiring a permanent replacement. Welcome to Norway Perspectives. I am Erik Christensen from the NLS Norway Relocation Group, and today we are exposing the devastating executive sick leave trap governed by the fiercely protective Norwegian National Insurance Act, and why importing a ruthless global attendance culture into the Nordics will instantly trigger a catastrophic corporate compliance nightmare. For highly successful corporate directors and foreign human resource departments operating in major global hubs like the United States, the United Kingdom or Asia, the concept of employee sick leave is highly transactional and strictly limited. You are generally given a highly specific number of sick days per year. If an employee develops a chronic illness or claims severe work-related stress and exhausts those limited days, they are usually forced onto unpaid leave, short-term disability, or they are simply and swiftly terminated for failing to fulfill their corporate duties. You naturally assume that if a highly paid executive in Norway stops coming to work, you can simply stop paying them and immediately terminate their employment contract. Norway operates under a drastically different, hyper-regulated and heavily unionized welfare framework that considers personal health and total income security to be an absolute, impenetrable human right. The massive financial and logistical trap triggers violently because Norway possesses arguably the most generous and fiercely protected sick leave system on the entire planet, known locally as Sykemelding. Under strict Norwegian law, if an employee falls ill, experiences severe psychological stress or burns out, they are legally entitled to receive 100% of their standard salary for astonishing 52 full weeks of absence. The devastating reality hits foreign employers in 3 catastrophic waves. First is the immediate financial bleed known as the arbeidsgiverperiode. The moment your executive calls in sick, the corporate employer is legally mandated to pay their full salary out of the company budget for the first 16 calendar days. The second wave strikes the corporate ledger when the absence becomes long-term. While the Norwegian Welfare Administration, known as NAV, takes over the sick pay after the 16th day, NAV strictly caps their financial reimbursement at 6 times the national insurance basic amount, 6G, which currently equates to roughly 740,000 kroner a year. Because your Nordic regional a director likely earns 2 or 3 million kroner. The foreign parent company is legally required by almost all standard Norwegian executive employment contracts to forcefully cover that for a massive financial gap. You will be actively bleeding hundreds of thousands of kroner from your corporate treasury to fund a senior executive who is legally sitting at home doing absolutely nothing. The third and most legally terrifying wave is the absolute termination ban, combined with the extreme corporate burden of the, in Norwegian what we say, Tilretteleggingsplikt, which translates to the legal duty to facilitate. Under the Norwegian Working Environment Act, Arbeidsmiljøloven, you are absolutely legally forbidden from firing an employee due to illness during the first 12 entire months of sick leave. You cannot touch them. If you attempt to issue a termination notice while they are on Sykemelding, the Norwegian labor courts will instantly invalidate the firing, hit your foreign parent company with massive punitive damages, and highly publicize your corporate failure. Furthermore, you cannot simply sit back and wait for the year to end. The law aggressively demands that the employer actively facilitates the sick employee's return to the workplace. You are legally required to draft highly detailed mandatory follow-up plans within exactly 4 weeks, host formal dialogue meetings within 7 weeks, and radically alter the employee's physical workspace and or reduce their daily executive responsibilities to accommodate the recovery. If NAV audits your HR files and determines your foreign headquarters ignore these strict facilitation duties, they will ruthlessly levy massive compounding daily corporate fines directly against your company. Navigating this hyper-protective, intensely regulated intersection of international human resources and Nordic welfare law requires absolute strategic dominance and flawless corporate compliance, structuring long before you ever finalize a local employment contract. At NLS Norway Relocation Group, we ensure your global corporate expansion is never hijacked by mismanaged medical absence. We handle your entire human resource and compliance transition through our highly exclusive trusted network of elite Norwegian employment attorneys, corporate compliance experts, and HR strategists. We rigorously audit your global employment contracts to precisely manage executive sick pay gap liabilities, expertly guide your foreign HR teams through the highly treacherous NAV compliance labyrinth, completely execute your mandatory Tilretteleggingsplikt dialogue protocols, and shield your foreign parent company from devastating retroactive lawsuits and crippling government fines. Do not let a misunderstood sick leave regulation trigger a catastrophic corporate audit that destroys your international mandate and drains your payroll. Protect your global treasury and ensure your corporate transition into the Nordic is an absolute legal triumph by visiting our website at NLS Norway Relocation.no, NLS Norway Relocation.no, to book a comprehensive strategy session today. And I will see you in the next episode.